2-ton change out here and townhome. Flush the lines. Get the chimney out. Corey's reclaiming. Got the new guy ready to go in. Almost at 0. Checking the breaker. Maximum 25, 14 for the minimum. When we're doing a flush, I like to cut this open so I can cut the coil. Cut the suction line back as far as I can, so when I solder these lines together and flush, I've got as much of this left to use as possible. This one doesn't matter because I can put the coil at any height, but this is kind of how you save as much of this when you're doing a flush. Cut it off inside. These end coils, you check in your hole in the rails. This rail is existing. We're just going to use it. It's got a nice rise off of the furnace. Actually, I'm going to raise that up even higher because when I come here to change that furnace, I don't want that sitting down on my furnace like that. So I'm going to just raise that guy up, screw it in a little bit higher. But we need to get that hole cut bigger. We got 14¼ inch plenum, and if we put this all the way to the right side, we want just a 1/2 inch rail over here because we got to leave that whole hole exposed there. So I'm going to just go about 1 inch, so I'm not completely up against the edge. Over to, well, 12½ is the max over there. So I want to cut this back at 1 right there. So leave about a 1/2 inch of it, maybe 3/4, because we're almost up against the side. And then 12½. We'll just take a little bit off of that side. Actually 13, 12 inch would probably fine, just leaving that one. Yeah, we'll just leave that side. But I'm going to raise that pan up and then cut that right side back and take the back a little bit because we only want 1 inch back there. Don't need any more than 1 inch rail on the back. This little 14 inch coil, end coil especially, you want to make sure you get as much airflow into these holes as possible. Got my coil set in here. As you can see, there's nothing blocking the holes in the bottom of my teeny little end coil. Things are pitched to the drain, left to right, front to back. All my little cap tubes have been looked at and are not going to be rattling up against the side of the sheet metal or each other or the coil. Everything looks good. I'm going to get my holes set on my new door and pop that in there. Corey was just soldering, flowing nitrogen. I saw smoke coming through here, so I would imagine I can put these together and solder them so he can flush. And then I can solder and we'll pressure test and pull a vacuum. All wrapped up in here. New drain line. Coil's a good foot off the furnace. Insulated, zip tied. Okay, we're dialing her in. What is it, 10?
Yeah.
10 degrees, subcooling. Corey's a master. Get that all doctored up at the house. We put a small chiseled out this stuff. They obviously originally mortared right up against the line set after it was ran, so we chiseled that out. We got some insulation in there so the concrete's not touching our copper.